are the anchors of Queer News Tonight, and this evening we discuss the queer headlines. A major legal victory for the LGBTQ+ community in Texas. A federal judge has struck down an anti-drag law, ruling that the state's controversial ban on public drag performances violates First Amendment free speech protections.
As GOP gays desperately fight for relevance, Republicans have found a new way to be even more anti-trans.
A public library in Utah is defending its decision to keep LGBTQ+ themed books easily accessible to children. Following challenges to books like Pride is Love, officials at the Provo City Library confirmed that inclusive children's literature remains available on open shelves alongside thousands of other books.
Community leaders in North Carolina have officially launched the Charlotte LGBTQ History, Visibility, and Beautification Coalition. Dedicated to ensuring local queer heritage is never erased, the grassroots effort brings together historians, activists, and local businesses to create public markers, restore historic gathering places, and increase LGBTQ+ representation across the Queen City.
The entertainment world and the LGBTQ+ community are mourning legendary actor and performer Tim Curry, who passed away at the age of 80. Best known for his groundbreaking turn as Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Curry redefined subversion, camp, and gender performance on stage and screen. All this important LGBTQ+ news and a whole lot more this evening on Queer News Tonight. Welcome to Queer News Tonight. This is the world's first and only LGBTQ+ daily news television show broadcasting live and available on demand on your favorite streaming channels.
Analytics company vidIQ has certified the Queer News Tonight YouTube channel as the world's most popular LGBTQ+ streaming news show. Our queer stories have reached more than 13 million views.
We are proud that Queer News Tonight has more YouTube subscribers than any other LGBTQ brand in Florida.
We thank you for watching and supporting our voice and our rainbow family. There is no other news program in the LGBTQ world like Queer News Tonight.
That's right, Trini. It is Wednesday, August 26, 2026. We are live and literally out of the closet and into the headlines. So many of your important stories we will tell this evening on Queer News Tonight.
You're watching Queer News Tonight, the world's first daily LGBTQ evening news show.
Welcome back to the world's most important LGBTQ+ evening news show. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up drag culture. Federal judge rules Texas drag ban unconstitutional for second time. U.S. District Judge David Hittner has issued a major federal ruling declaring the Texas law restricting drag shows and sexually oriented public performances to be unconstitutional under the First Amendment. The ruling blocks Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton from enforcing the legislation, which targeted drag performances in public venues or places where minors could be present. Judge Hittner reaffirmed that the statute's definitions were overly broad, applying improper content-based and viewpoint-based restrictions on protected artistic expression. The court concluded that the law's sweeping scope threatened wide categories of legitimate performances, ranging from theatrical productions to sport entertainment, emphasizing that protected expression cannot be suppressed simply because some view it as erotic or offensive. Celebrating the decision, the ACLU of Texas senior staff attorney Brian Klossbauer reaffirmed the constitutional protections surrounding performance art, declaring, quote, "Today's decision confirms that the legislature's attempt to ban drag performances was unconstitutional from start to finish. Drag has a rich history as a refuge of joy and liberation for countless Texans, and it's not going anywhere. This law stifled free expression across our state and made people afraid to engage in or attend drag shows or other performances. But all Texans, no matter our gender or background, are guaranteed the right to free expression," end quote. While Texas plans to appeal the decision, civil rights advocates, local business owners, and drag artists praised the ruling as a critical victory for free speech and LGBTQ+ visibility across Texas. Wow. Listen, I'll take this win. Okay.
Yes.
We will take this win for sure. And this is bigger than drag.
Yeah.
It's about the government deciding what artistic expression we're allowed to see. Drag is theater. And I know that Trini's going to, co-sign with this. Drag is culture, protest, and joy. And the First Amendment doesn't disappear because somebody is uncomfortable with a pair of heels that someone's wearing on a stage.
I read this article, and what I loved about one of the things the judge said, it was as simple as this: if you don't like it, don't go. And I mean, that's so true. There are so many things. John and I were talking about this today. We don't want to go to a MAGA rally, but it's like, so we don't go. It's like
something simple like that.
Yeah, if you don't like it, don't go.
If you don't like gay marriage, don't marry one of us.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, now I've been to plenty of drag shows, right? I mean, you and I have been to enough.
Yes.
You and I have been to more together than most people will see in their whole life.
That's true.
And as they're fun, they're over the top, but they're not erotic. If anything, they're a parody of eroticism.
Mm-hmm.
The exaggerated breasts
Yes.
and the larger buttocks
Yes.
and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's fun. It's
humorous.
It is.
Yeah.
And of course, people just take it for what it's not for their own personal gain.
Yeah,
So
you-
yay! So yay for this.
Yay for this. And, and like you said, the big boobs, the padding, all of that takes like 3 different hoses to put on top. How are you erotic with those
Right.
3 hoses? It's impossible to flash anybody, including a kid,
Well, I think that
Really?
the idea is that it was out in public so that a child would be exposed to it. But how do you define what is man's clothes and women's clothes in a legal letter?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, it's when you try to put pen to paper and write out exactly what that means, like you can't have a man that dresses like a woman. Well, what does that mean? If I put a scarf on, does that mean that I'm dressing like a woman? Does it mean that like,
Your earring, does the earring make that you're
Right.
being,
Exactly. So then you would have to shut down any kind of Taylor Swift, Beyonce, like pretty much every female pop star that has any kind of semblance of sexuality into it or eroticism. So that's one thing. And the other thing that I was just looking up trying to get it right was I think people in Texas are getting tired of the restrictions, even the people who are conservative, because I was looking up their THC law, because I saw that just passed that if you have possession of less than 1 gram can potentially mean up to 2 years of jail time and a $10,000 fine. So if you have like a little bag of gummies, which people in Texas smoke weed, okay?
Oh.
And they
Yeah.
get gummies, and they've been getting them from Colorado and California. So now with this sweeping legislation, I know that Joe Rogan is like, I do this on my podcast, and I think he broadcasts out of Texas. So it's like, don't quote me on it, but I think that's what is the situation. And so now all these people who have kind of maybe in the manosphere who have been a little bit more on the conservative side are like, wait, where's that guy?
Right.
So they're looking at like cosign. They have to now be a little bit more equal in what they're against. So they're going to have to be against the whole drag situation as well and support what just happened. So, hopefully we're going to be turning blue. And maybe James Tallarico is going to win the Senate seat there. So I feel like these kinds of things are going to keep happening, and I have hope. I have hope for Texas, and I have hope for the country in the next few months. So
Yeah,
brings
and
me
hope
joy.
for us,
Yeah.
Trini.
Yeah.
Because, like we're a carbon copy, a mirror image sometimes of what Texas does.
Yes.
Abbott has a hard on for us.
Right.
Abbott and DeSantis have something going on, which
on.
I don't want to watch. Gross.
Oh,
right?
I'd watch.
But I mean, again, we're in these same kind of
No, you're right.
times right now here. So there's hope.
There's hope.
There's hope.
Hey everyone, I'm John Hayden, and let's queer up politics. Log cabin Republicans join the rest of the GOP in trans erasure. Some people spill tea, others drop tea. Ross Heminger, president of the Log Cabin Republicans, announced in an essay on townhall.com that the board of directors voted to, quote, refine Log Cabin's national advocacy focus to concentrate specifically on conservative values. In other words, we are an LGBT advocacy organizations as our founders envisioned and as our moral center calls us to be. End quote. Log Cabin added the T in 2015 to welcome Caitlyn Jenner. Local trans activist Raji Narayan Singh told me, quote, dropping the T from LGBTQ isn't just disappointing, it's a political betrayal wrapped in cowardice. And let's be honest, it's the predictable outcome of aligning with a movement that has never truly embraced trans people. And she's absolutely spot on. Log Cabin is a garbage organization run by garbage people. Like literally, period. You meet them out and about, and unfortunately, you can kind of tell, from they're wearing their canoe cologne from the late 1980s. Dupe. They're doing their whoosh, comb over. Girl, just go bald. But seriously, these people vote against us. They they voted in favor of don't say gay, and then. When it was just K through 3. And then they were like, fine, when it expanded to K through 12 and probably into colleges. They're just wretched, vile people. I'm glad they don't come on this show. And they don't, because I think we would all destroy them.
Yes, that.
And rightly so.
This one hurts, and I've said it before from this table, because this call is coming from inside the house, right? Like, it's one of our own going after us. You know what I mean? Like, you don't protect your own rights by sacrificing another part of our community. That's it. LGBTQ plus isn't a buffet where you pick the letters that are politically convenient for you. Right. It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
Here we go, Trini.
All right. So I let me just start out by saying, I don't think they should be dropping the T, right? I just think that the calculus of it, first of all, the Log Cabin Republicans have never really been part of our team. I don't think. Yeah. They've been their own thing within the Republican Party because they want to, I guess, get invited to the gay sex orgies that are happening in the Republican convention or whatever. And they're just putting it out there. Yo, invite me. That's what I think that group is about. But I just think that there's so many different issues that come up when it comes to transgenderism versus sexual orientation. And I think it's just something that the country is grappling with. I think the country in general accepts gay people and sexual orientation, but when it comes to transgender people, I do think that it opens up a lot more doors to things that people are having issues with. And I think maybe their calculus is that, all right, let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's just say, all right, let's make sure that these rights get protected, and then we can deal with this issue in another way. And I think the country is kind of in that position as well, especially when it comes to the sports issue. And that, there are a lot of people who love LGBT folks and just have a few issues with the bathrooms or with the sports issue. And so that leaves people not knowing where to go, because I want to support one, but I don't want to support the other, right? And we're at the table saying, okay, let's support all of them, and then there's just a whole lot of people that are like, I don't support both. And so what do you do with those people when you have voting issues that have to be one or nothing, So I don't know. I'm not saying that's a good idea to drop the T, and we should definitely care for our transgender brothers and sisters, but then that also invites the conversation about the 84 different genders and this and the non-binary and stuff. And it introduces just so much more that people are like, I don't even know. I don't believe in that. I'm not into that. I like to keep it simple, and I'm still trying to figure out how to move forward from that.
It's hard because people don't want to learn anymore. People don't want to learn what it is. Okay. From my seat, I'm saying if you want to do LGBTQIA, LMNOP, RSTUV, I'm going to learn the acronym because you deserve to be seen. Right. That's just from my seat, right? But there's folks, like you said, that don't want to learn anything else, but they support, or they think they support gay and lesbian.
They're people like me.
No,
I'm not into all the acronyms.
We weren't asked to be put all together, right? But here we are, and the reality is that one is your identity and the other is who you love, yet we're still together.
But what I see, Trinidad, is that it's the community is the larger community, and it's our community. So we, for my take, what do we do? When you ask, what do we do? We stand up and we support and we say, John and I were just in New York and saw Cast Jellicle Ball, and the love and joy that was in that space blew our minds. And I thought, this is Broadway. So this is not just a special audience. This is Middle America also comes to Broadway. And there was all this talk, and you couldn't not acknowledge the love and joy for these performers coming out, being themselves, doing them, so the old, you do you.
Yeah.
But I guess I go with who cares about the log cabin Republicans. If they want to do
exactly.
that, then there's
that's
such
true,
a
too.
tiny portion of like what the LGBTQ world is like and the advocates for it. So, I mean, I would just tell them, fine.
Yeah.
Look,
Don't-
and
you
they,
don't
and they
do it.
added it for what's her face?
For
For Caitlyn.
I mean, so they might as well drop it.
Hey, drop Caitlyn while you're at it.
Drop Caitlyn while you have it.
You know, and to your point that there's such a small part, like I had to like reach out to local activists like Raji, and also Adriana Tender's going to be in the Out South Florida version of this as well, and she had great things to say as well.
Love you, Adriana.
But the fact is that I had to go looking for people's reaction because like it's literally like nobody cares because nobody, to your point,
I've never
considers
even
them
met one.
part of
Right.
count yourself lucky.
Right.
Okay.
You know, but what I would say is that it's your talk about like getting down to 84 genders and all this other. It reminds me of the argument. Well, if we let gays marry, then we have to. Are we going to let them marry their
your
pet?
dog.
Are we going to? Yeah. Are we going to let them marry that? Those were red herrings.
Right.
Trans kids playing school, important issue to those trans kids, but not to the rest of America. It shouldn't be because it's a made-up crisis. There were less than 50 high school trans kids trying to play high school sports in the last school year in the whole country. These are made-up excuses. These are hysteria, and the naivete of people who think that if we go ahead and drop the T, that they won't then come after the L, the B, and the G.
Right.
They will. It's about dividing us.
Yeah.
That's what makes this story so important. If you look at my homepage or my main Facebook page, my banner says equality never comes with an asterisk. And I absolutely believe that. Trans men are men. Trans women are women. Period.
Period. I'm Bill Olson, and let's queer up education. Library defends keeping LGBTQ plus children's books on open shelves. The Provo City Library in Utah is keeping titles such as Pride is Love. The books will remain in its general children's section so that they are easily accessible to young readers and families. In statements provided to Fox News Digital, library officials clarified that these books, designed for toddlers and early learners, are shelved alongside the library's broader collection of approximately 2,500 children's titles. The confirmation follows scrutiny from conservative parent groups and media outlets questioning whether books touching on gender identity, diverse family structures, and pride celebrations should be placed on open, low-level shelves accessible to young children without parental guidance. The Cougar Chronicle posted several photos on Twitter which drew attention from other conservative personalities, including Senator Mike Lee. Library representatives emphasized that their collection strategy aligns with standard public library practices, which aim to provide diverse representations of families while placing the responsibility of guiding reading choices onto parents and guardians. Free speech advocates and LGBTQ plus allies maintain that restricting or relocating age-appropriate books simply because they feature LGBTQ plus themes constitutes viewpoint discrimination and limits representative literature for diverse families. Whew. Unpacking that. Kudos to, we had a library story last week too. Kudos to the librarians. They seem to be on the front lines here of standing up for what's the right thing to do.
Who knew, right? With their aprons on and
knew?
everything.
Right.
Fighting the big fight.
No, so I think it's incredible that they're, and in Utah, of all places, I guess we should say, but not that I really know it so well, so I guess I should go. But no, I'm just thrilled.
Don't go crazy.
Well,
would you have a problem if the books were there on the same level shelf, but they just had a little section that said for more non-traditional family children's books or something like that?
Well, a lot of libraries do have categorical identifications.
Because I have no problem with that. If they wanted to have a little section that's, at the end of the bookshelf or in the middle of wherever it is, but that so families that want to get books for their kids and say, okay, I don't want to explain this concept right now, but I do think it should have access. And you could tell your kids, don't go over to that section.
Right.
Stay over in this section.
Well, you know where the kids are going to go then.
But, well,
you know where the kids will then
let them
go directly.
Let them go.
See, in that case, you really I think what this story is also pointing out is that you need you as the parent, it's on you or the guardian to determine what so you're not letting your kid run around the library either, because they're going to find whatever they want to find. And that eliminates your ability as a parent to say, don't go over there, like you just said. So I think the fact that the books are books and they should be there, they should be relatively accessible. We shouldn't be discriminating or censoring those kinds of publications, and then the parents get to be with their kid.
It's probably a bigger story because of Charlie Kirk. That's where he was killed, in Provo, Utah.
Oh,
So
right.
I think that it seems like this is maybe a conservative backlash. They're like, look, these liberals are coming in here and look at what they're doing, and making a bigger deal than any other group would do.
Now, but to your point, Kirk was shot there at a conservative rally, and Utah is a very red state. But it's also he was shot at a university. You know, campus towns, even in red states, the campus towns are going to tend to be much more blue. And while I was saying, good on Provo, good on Provo, and Utah is deep red. But at the same time, it's the bluest deep red state. Not meaning it's purple, but like Salt Lake City incorporated the pride flag into one of their official city flags to work around the pride flag ban that Utah has. Provo doing this. So, you know, don't give Utah a second look. Don't go. You don't have to go visit. But you know, we don't have
the
to rail,
salt flats
we
are
don't
great.
have to rail on them. And I'm sorry, I have to point out the web piece that got this whole thing started, the conservative Cougar Chronicle. I have no comment, but I still am laughing like a 12-year-old.
I started following them because I thought they were something else.
A lesbian softball team? I don't know.
A lesbian cougar tribe. Like, I thought they were like older hot ladies doing the damn thing. Damn it. Unfollow.
I'm TriniDaddy, and let's queer up gay culture. New coalition launches in Charlotte to protect and honor Queen City's LGBTQ+ history. Community organizers, local historians, and civic leaders in North Carolina have officially formed the Charlotte LGBTQ History, Visibility, and Beautification Coalition. This new initiative is aimed at documenting, honoring, and permanently marking significant queer historic sites across the Queen City. The grassroots coalition was created to address the systemic erasure of the contributions of local queer trailblazers. Through strategic public art installations, neighborhood beautification efforts, and official historical markers, the coalition brings together local businesses and neighborhood associations to transform significant historical sites into permanent cultural landmarks. One of the coalition's flagship initiatives, including securing a historic marker for Olean's Lounge on South Boulevard, a vital gathering space that provided refuge, community, and grassroots support for Charlotte's LGBTQ+ population, particularly during the height of the HIV/AIDS crisis. Emphasizing the urgent need for community-led preservation during recent fundraisers during Charlotte Pride Weekend, Coalition website says, quote, LGBTQ+ people have helped shape Charlotte's history, culture, neighborhoods, and community, and those stories deserve to be seen all around the Queen City, end quote. A place may disappear, its history shouldn't. I think it's wonderful that the intention is to preserve the gay culture and the landmarks and everything. Wonderful, and we need more people to speak up in this current climate to make sure that these things don't permanently go away like so many of our establishments. The only thing I just think about with other historical designated landmarks is that it becomes very expensive to keep up these places. Anything that's designated historical landmark, anytime you want to do a renovation, anytime you want to do anything that might have something change about it, it requires a lot of permitting, a lot of time in the county courthouse, and a lot more expense to do it. And with a lot of gay clubs, sites, organizations closing down due to economy and expense, you know, just to be careful about that and to make sure we support it so that these places don't end up not being fully funded the way that they need to be.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love this story because I'm a historical buff guy. And so I really respond, you know, when I walk the streets of New York and I see these plaques, I stop and I read them. Because it's like, I'm like, oh, so-and-so was born here, or this happened here, or this battle, you know, Washington met his troops at this corner on this street in Lower Manhattan. So I think having those markers on the street that identify important historical things that occurred in our community at a certain point in time in history is really important. I agree with you. I think if structures themselves, it's a challenging situation potentially. And I can only hope, but I would say it's good that there's a preservation society controlling it so someone can't just knock it down like we see what's happening, that they're knocking things down in DC and no one's doing anything about it. So it's like if there's a preservation society protecting these locations from being just razed or knocked down, that's good. And renovations, you're right, it could be a challenging situation.
Have you been to Charlotte?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I love Charlotte.
Yeah.
I flew in there once.
Oh, it's great hub. Yeah. Of course, Charlotte is called the Queen City because it's named after Queen Charlotte of Mecklenburg-Strelitz.
Okay, I thought it was for drag queens.
Yeah, no, that's how we've taken it away. But it was named after her. And what county are they in? They're in Mecklenburg County. So this has many ties to the Queen. Queen Charlotte was the wife of King George III, who was a whole generation knows him through Hamilton, but he was the king when the Americas rebelled, and he bought Buckingham House for Queen Charlotte. So in a way, our little Queen City has connections all the way to the palace where queens live now. So yay, I'm all in favor of this.
Well, I love it.
Well done.
Thank you.
Love it. Thank you for piecing all that together for us. I'm FayWhat, and let's queer up entertainment. Remembering Tim Curry, legendary actor's trailblazing legacy of queer visibility. Acclaimed British actor, singer, and theater titan Tim Curry passed away at his home in Los Angeles at the age of 80. He leaves behind an unmatched artistic career that permanently reshaped mainstream pop culture's relationship with gender, sexual fluidity, and queer expression. While Curry's 5-decade career spanned legendary performances in Clue, It, Home Alone 2, and Muppet Treasure Island, his most enduring cultural imprint began on stage in 1973 as Dr. Frankenfurter in the Rocky Horror Show. Reprising the role in the 1975 film adaptation, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Curry brought a sexually liberated, gender-defying alien scientist to silver screens worldwide at a time when open depictions of nonconformity faced intense societal suppression. Rather than playing the role as a caricature, Curry imbued the character with electric charisma, rock and roll swagger, and fierce bodily autonomy, delivering the immortal anthem, "Don't dream it, be it." For generations of LGBTQ people, watching Curry's uninhibited performance in the Rocky Horror Picture Show served as a rite of passage. Midnight screenings in theaters across the globe became essential community spaces where queer, transgender, and gender nonconforming individuals could express themselves free from judgment. As fans worldwide celebrate his life, Curry is remembered not only as a master of performance, but as a fearless pioneer who taught millions the transformative power of living authentically. You know, this one is a special hurt. I mean, Dolly hurt and hurts a lot and hurts still, okay? Mm. And then this one, this one is a special hurt. For generations of queer people, Rocky Horror wasn't just a movie. It gave us permission to be weird, sexy, different, and be completely ourselves. Yes, I even dressed up like Frankenfurter once. I mean, look at it, Tim Curry helped create a place where generations of LGBTQ plus people felt like they belonged and they can be whoever they wanted to be. I mean, this one hurt. Yeah. Boys? Yeah.
In my theater company, we did the Rocky Horror Picture Show like every year for a while.
For Halloween, right? Everybody did it around that time too.
Yeah. And so when I went to go see it, and I decided to dress up a little bit, in my little conservative area with all the political leaders in my area. And I'm like, all right, I'll try the fishnets on or something, So then I did all of that, the makeup and everything. And then they asked me to host at the beginning and do the insult comedy and all that stuff, which was great fun. And then that's when it kind of dawned on me that, wow, I'm feeling like weirdly conservative in this space right now because of everybody watching me, and I'm realizing this was in the 70s.
Right.
And I'm like, all these people know about this, and they've been knowing about this for a long time, and they've all co-signed on it, and they all bought a ticket to be here.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, that was really a groundbreaking theater piece and movie for people to actually see it and to get in some little orbit of transgendered people and just gender bending and having a good time with it and not having any kind of negative association, even with like sexuality. It was just about fun and having a good time.
It just was.
It
just was.
It truly was extraordinary. I was that kid in high school in the 70s in a small town upstate New York. I was born and raised in the city, but by my high school years, we moved upstate. And so it was not necessarily conservative, but it was more conservative than Manhattan and Long Island. And this was extraordinary because we got to go. We would go, act out, do our thing with the props and dress up. But the community also, it felt into a special sliver of a spot because we were able to be there and be us. But the general community, there are a couple things in our culture that have made to the mainstream. And that was one of them, because there were people in that theater who were not necessarily there for the same reasons that my friends and I were there for.
Of course.
But they accepted it and they got in on the whole thing. And we saw things at a deeper level that they didn't necessarily want to see. But Rocky Horror Picture Show was able to cross over. And it was a remarkable time. So to be a high school student in the 70s and get to go to that, it was extraordinary.
To hear a whole room full of a theater, a whole full theater sing the songs and say the word transvestite, which is a word that they probably wouldn't have as part of their vocabulary ever, was uniquely trailblazing.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Tim Curry was a sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania.
There it is. LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up lesbian and queer women. Gillian Anderson opens up about secret high school relationship with an older girl. The actress is talking about her teenage years in an interview with the Sun-Times. Anderson reflects on a high school relationship with an older girl that she felt forced to keep hidden. She recalled that growing up in Grand Rapids, Michigan, the relationship felt secretive, illicit, and wrong due to the social stigma of the era. She explained that while she was also dating boys, she lacked the vocabulary at the time to fully make sense of her attraction to women or navigate her sexuality. Though she previously thought of female relationships as temporary, Anderson says she now views romantic connection beyond strict gender labels, emphasizing that true partnerships transcend those boundaries. Ugh. God, I loved her.
Oh, she's great.
I love that red hair. Oh, I think she was actually one of my first girl crushes that I'm thinking about it. So many queer women know what it's like to have those feelings before having the language to explain them. Imagine being a teenager and thinking something beautiful about yourself is somehow wrong. Visibility gives young people the words many of us never had growing up. And she's doing just that.
Yeah. No, that's excellent that she stepped out. And
she's still hot.
Interview. Yeah, and no, it's true. It's true. I was a huge X-Files fan because of her. So, of course, Mulder, but
don't forget David
Duchovny. I don't forget David Duchovny. They were both beautiful people.
Yeah, I wanted them to have sex. That's what I'm saying.
I think.
Well, one of them had a porn video.
There's an adult video version of
David Duchovny.
The XXX Files. Oh, I thought you meant the parody.
No, David Duchovny had a
Oh, does he really?
sex scenes in some movie.
Oh, yeah.
I think there were some some penis.
But I think there was some X-Files storylines in the latter seasons where they did have a little romantic twist.
I never watched it, but they never had anything together?
No,
I just sexual tension.
It was that tension, but it was the tension that made it work. Once they sleep together, the tension's gone and who cares?
That's why I'm not in a relationship.
LGBTQ plus 1 minute news. Let's queer up travel. Global Safety Index ranks top LGBTQ plus travel spots, and the U.S. drops to 41st place. The latest LGBTQ plus travel safety index ranks Canada, Sweden, and the Netherlands as the safest international destinations for queer travelers, while delivering some sharp news for the U.S., which fell to 41st place. Compiled by travel researchers Asher and Lyric, the index looks at 203 countries and based on 10 criteria, it includes marriage protections, anti-discrimination laws, hate crime legislature, and transgender policies. Top performing nations earned high scores for robust legal protections and strong social acceptance. In contrast, the United States dropped due to a surge of state-level restrictions targeting healthcare and public facilities for trans individuals, along with rising anti-LGBTQ plus hate crime rates. I mean, it's quantifying things that I think we already felt and
Yeah.
knew. I mean, you know, if Canada were where Mexico is and Mexico was where Canada was, I'd have moved to Canada a long time ago. I just can't take the cold.
Right. Yeah, you know, you can't face or deny the facts that all these policies, all these things that are coming down the pike that we've allowed to have happen at the state level and at the national level. I mean, the world, we think of it as a U.S. issue, but the world looks at us and says, hey, you get to be responsible, you get to be accountable for the choices that you're making. And I looked at the map while you were talking, and so we were yellow and China was yellow. And I'm like, way to go. We want to be like China.
China.
LGBTQ 1 Minute News. Let's queer up youth. Study affirming teachers boost trans youth grades and classroom safety. A joint national study released by GLSEN and the Trevor Project reveals that supportive, affirming teachers serve as a primary factor driving academic success and physical safety for transgender and non-binary students. Analyzing responses from nearly 2,000 transgender middle and high school students across the country, researchers found that simple proactive measures, such as using correct names and pronouns, incorporating inclusive learning materials, and supporting student-led clubs, directly correlate with higher GPAs and lower absenteeism. The findings contrast with data showing that over half of trans students face hostile or discriminatory school policies, with many facing harassment or forced exclusion from school facilities. Researchers emphasize that genuine safety requires active teacher affirmation rather than passive neutrality, urging school administrators to prioritize educator support to improve youth mental health and academic retention. Oh, I have to say, I can really respond. As my end of my career before I retired recently was in the high school, and in my county, it's sort of a red county in Florida, on the beginning of my second or third year that I was there, a parent came to the parent meeting and said, I have a transgender student or child that was going to be in my class. And they were moving from Ohio. And so my antenna went right up, and we had an amazing, that they were very hesitant in our school district. I hesitate to use the word shy, but I think it was just more reserved and held in because they did not know how they were going to be perceived. And within a month or two, their mom calls me up and says, you know what? They're coming to school because of your class. They're coming because they're trying to fit in, and they know that you are attentive, you are aware, you are assisting. I had access, being a theater teacher, I had access to the dressing rooms where there was a bathroom. So I said, hey, you need to come to the bathroom, you tell me, and I'll make you accessible to this space that isn't normally accessible to the kids, although it could be. If a kid was sick, I took him to the nearest bathroom, and that was this particular bathroom. So it changed everything about their time there. And I was so pleased. I mean, I didn't feel like I was doing anything special. I was just doing the right thing. And so this story, I'm glad it happened to fall in my lap, because this was really personal to me, that this experience happened.
Thank you for sharing that story with us, Bill. That's so important. And you did do something incredible, not just, it's
that kid graduated and was had friends and had a structure and was just on top of the world.
Right? Kindness has consequences, right? And that right there are the consequences to it. They felt seen, maybe for the first time, who knows?
Right.
And that gave them that foundation to keep going, right? And to put that step in front of the other. Sometimes you just need that to get you going.
And the trick is, it wasn't hard for me to do any of the things that I did.
It's not hard to be kind, Bill.
No, of course not. So other teachers at the school who were less accommodating just blew my mind that they would make an issue for this student that didn't need to be an issue. They just wanted to be,
Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, is a nonprofit 501c3 media company in the same models of PBS and NPR, but created for the LGBTQ plus community. Our nonprofit mission is to support the 11 pillars of our community.
We want to inform and educate the key issues of lesbian, trans, Latino, Black healthcare, seniors, students, faith, social justice, business, and queer culture. Help us support our diverse community. We are part of one of the largest LGBTQ plus nonprofit media companies in America, Hotspots Happening Out South Florida.
In 2026, our magazine is celebrating 41 years of the LGBTQ experience, and Queer News Tonight is celebrating our 5th anniversary with more than 16,000 LGBTQ television stories. We present South Florida's major LGBTQ events, including Pride Fort Lauderdale, Stonewall Pride, and Pride Fete. Our magazine, events, television news, talk, and entertainment shows support our mission to educate the LGBTQ and broader community.
In 2026, more than 100 community leaders will sit at this very table and share their voice as our anchors. Together, we host this show to support the LGBTQ community. Let's meet this evening's anchors at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome anchor John Hayden to the table, baby. A journalist for 31 years, he now focuses on hyper-local reporting covering LGBTQ plus issues. Wilton Manors, Lauderdale by the Sea, Fort Lauderdale, Oakland Park. You can see all his reports at Greater Wilton Manors on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook as well. Welcome back to the table, John. What do you got going on this week? You are everywhere, right? There's something green opening, something lush opening, something for everyone that's opening soon.
I love things that are green. I love things that are lush, and I love pickleball. I think it's all going to be on display Thursday morning in Oakland Park, where the new Greenleaf Park will finally open. It's a key part of the downtown Oakland Park revitalization project. Once this opens, I was at the groundbreaking back in March. Groundbreaking. It was fun. Much cooler now. Much more than a dirt lot now. Looks great. But you know, I go to that, and so now once this opens, they can close the old, aging athletics or recreational center and start tearing down City Hall. So hopefully that will all start in the next in 2027. But tomorrow we celebrate. I'll probably push a 6-year-old out of the way so I can be the first one down the slide.
Oh my goodness. Listen, Oakland Park is amazing.
Elbows.
Yeah.
Oakland Park is amazing, okay? Like, I know plenty of people that could not afford to live in Wilton that went a little bit more north and couldn't be happier. And like these...
That's John and I.
Is that you?
We drive by it. It's beautiful.
Oh, yeah.
The courts look beautiful. They've done a beautiful job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much, John Hayden. And make sure that you check out all his reports at Greater Wilton Manors. And we are so happy to have him at the table tonight at Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table anchor Bill Olson. Bill Olson is a director, a designer, actor, and arts champion, and a mentor to many, including myself. From New York stages to international tours, he's helped shape decades of local theater, including the Caldwell. He's a proud Center for Spiritual Living member. Welcome back to the show. And speaking of the Center for Spiritual Living, what's up with the arts at CSL? Because there's always something going on lately.
Well, it's so exciting to be with you, Faye, and I'm always happy to be back at the table. So we've got all the promos. John's been working furiously this week. So all the flyers are out now, and are actually, we just, as of yesterday, all the ticket pages are live and functioning.
Oh, so for Aretha Franklin?
For the new season.
Okay.
So we're already sold Aretha Franklin tickets. Actually, Aretha, the concert is a big, a lot of reactions to that. But no, he's pushed out all that information. And the exciting thing is you can just Google the arts at CSL. And it brings us right to our page and the ticket link, and it's amazing. I did that today, and I'm like, it's all right there. Oh, and on the screen right there, we have the title, can't say that, Where Creativity Connects Us.
Got it.
And that's those artists that we're producing, 3 local artists in our community, and that we'll be installing the new gallery wall in the center, and then rotating every 3 months with a big wine and cheese party to meet the artists.
I love it.
It's very exciting. Oh, and Karen Drucker is coming up in January. So
yay, Karen.
I know some of the MCC folks have been asking about Karen. So,
well, listen, folks, there's always something going on at the Center for Spiritual Living, all right? If it's not Sunday services, they have bingo. They have so many other things going on. So just look up the Center for Spiritual Living and look up the arts at CSL as well. And you'll find that you'll be busy for the next couple of months with everything that's going on over there, right?
Absolutely.
Well, thank you so much, Bill, for being back at the table for tonight's Queer News Tonight. Let's welcome back to the table TriniDaddy. He's a violinist and pianist with the Miami City Ballet. What's going on with you, Trini? You're going away soon, my baby.
I'm going to Mexico City tomorrow for a week. I'm going to go sample all the goods that are available to me. I have been on a diet for the past 2 weeks because, you know.
Are we talking about food or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No. I need to ask because Grindr works in Mexico.
Well,
oh yeah. And you have that option to roam, and so you can see who's already in that area.
Oh.
So I'm like, and they're pretty hot in Mexico City.
They are.
And it's a younger demographic than I guess in Miami or here. Like they're all like below 25.
They're gonna call you daddy, TriniDaddy.
Yeah, right. So I was like, let me lose a couple pounds before I go. So yeah, I'm really excited. There's one light exhibit that I'm really excited to go to. I think a lot of people don't know that Mexico City is a huge cultural center, and there's tons of museums and there's tons of filmmakers and cinemas that are there. And I didn't realize how large Mexico City is.
Oh yeah.
It's just
ginormous.
Yeah.
I think it's the largest city in North America.
Metropolitan city, yes.
Yeah, so when I saw that, I'm like, all right, now I got to really plan like what I'm going to do each day. And my friend is telling me that traffic is really bad. So you can only try
one thing a day.
Exactly.
Do you speak any Spanish?
Hablo mucho español.
Oh. Necesita papeles. Do you need papers?
Do I need papers?
Oh,
Got you. I think they're trying to stay away. I think they're gonna say that to me when I'm going there as an American.
Do you have papers?
I'll be like, are you okay? But we're happy to have you here, okay? And you enjoy your vacation.
Thank you.
All right, we're happy to have Mr. TriniDaddy back at the table here at Queer News Tonight.
And now, the person who needs no introduction, but I am contractually obligated to do one anyway. FayWhat! A legendary events host, television and radio personality, and the host of the eponymous Hotspots Happening Out FayWhat show. What, FayWhat,
What,
is
FayWhat?
happening out?
You know, today is National Dog Day, right? And everybody loves dogs. Everybody who has that soul pup that they think of, right? I lost mine a couple of months back, but I'm so blessed to have a soul pup that I work with every week. My soul pup is Luna. And if you've ever watched the FayWhat show, Luna is my co-host, my therapy dog. And she's not only the therapy for me, she's therapy for every single interview, every single drag queen that gets into my bed, every single nonprofit, volunteer, everything. Luna is the one that gets them comfortable, and then I'm the one that goes in for the kill. But I wanted to just address that. You know, even me and John were on my show last week, and Luna was there as part of the show. That is who she is. So National Dog Day is today. Hug your doggy real tight. Tell them that you love them. Give them an extra treat because they deserve it, because they put up with your ass.
They do. And you helped bring my beagle into my life, Mr. Beaglesworth, and check out Greater Welton Manors or Phase for Family.
Yep.
I posted a little video of him paddling around in the water in the pool this morning, and he's 15 years old, but he was just living his best life. So dogs help us live our best lives. So God bless them.
As a nonprofit LGBTQ media organization, we'd like to thank our viewers for supporting our mission to tell the stories of the queer community. We'd also like to thank the generous support of Jets Pizza. Jets is the LGBTQ community's most popular pizza in South Florida. Get up.
Take a look around these streets. Do you really think we woke up one day and said, yeah, the world needs more pizza? Nah, just a better one. Better, like the world's best pizza, Jet's Detroit-style pizza. Hand-pressed and baked to the thickest, crispiest crunch. You're welcome. Now visit jetspizza.com and save. Click on hot deals for special offers in your area. Jets, better because it has to be.
Those were today's headlines from Queer News Tonight, and our anchors represent the best of our LGBTQ plus family.
If our community is important to you, and you know that it is, share this news with your friends and family. Don't forget to join the conversation on your favorite streaming platform.
Queer News Tonight is the only live LGBTQ digital television show in the world that is out of the closet and into the headlines. We need your support. If our community is to grow and then thrive, we must tell our stories and bring them to the attention of the broader world.
This is the only place in the world that tells these types of LGBTQ stories in motion and sound. That is the passion of Hotspots Magazine, Happening Out Television Network, and Queer News Tonight.
I'm your lead anchor, FayWhat! And I thank you for joining us on behalf of my fellow LGBTQ anchors here at Queer News Tonight, including John Hayden, Bill Olson, and TriniDaddy. Have a good vacation, TriniDaddy. Thank you. Come back, okay? Because me and John in Mexico looking for you is going to be a bad one.
I'm willing to make the trip, though.
All right, we'll make it happen. We'll see you daily at 8 p.m. To our LGBTQ plus world, we wish you a good night.